Good afternoon. March the 18th, 2014. This is CISG113, Section 1, Information Security and Privacy. Today is day number 10 in week number 6. So let us get started. Welcome back to this class, CISG113, Section 1, Information Security and Privacy. This is week number 6, okay? Week number 6 starts with the theme. Again, just like week number 5, it's self-regulated learning. But the two topics in this week will be web attacks and intellect vulnerability. This is topic 2 for today, and topic 3 for Friday is ethical issues of hacking and cracking code. So we're going to get into web attack and intellect vulnerabilities. So to give you some time to understand what is meant by web attack, you have to think of your experience of using your computer at home, okay? Your experience of using a computer at home, hook up to the intellect. That means you enjoy the intellect access of your home computer. And when you enjoy the intellect access of your home computer, you are used to using browser like Firefox, like Internet Explorer, and it is where the web attack often takes place. Okay? Normally, we say that you and I are responsible in some sense for such attacks. Well, we check our emails, we check our internet mails, and normally, sometime we will receive some kind of email which will motivate us enough to open it a little bit, to look for something more. I do not know if you have received some kind of email which is going to give you a lot of insider information, sometimes on China. Have you ever received an email which tells you something more about Falun Gong? When you receive the email, all of a sudden they give you about 20 seconds of the music, very soothing. And then there is a narrator telling you, in this email, we are going to update you on some of the latest development of Falun Gong inside China, on specific different story. And then at the end of that, they give you a website which you click on the link to get more information, which is quite safe in a sense. And then, but they also attach to it a zip file. You believe that you can open up the zip file, get more information. That might be very dangerous. Although in some sense, a lot of these may be just information, but that is what they are looking for. You very much. Now, I do not mean that the one who sent the Falun Gong, that means any kind of email or phishing email. They either invite you to a website where you click on that website, all of a sudden, your computer's browsers allow that website to execute what we call an applet, a small code in your computer. And by doing that, you are planting the seed for a web attack in your computer. You never know when they are going to be activated. It's going to be controlled by the hacker. So normally we advise students not to open up email, particularly those with an attachment, easily without any prior thinking. So this is an example of a web attack. And from another point of view, the keyword intellect vulnerability is very important. Normally, the system we're using has some kind of vulnerable surface. That means weak points, okay? Like not long ago, you heard about those applications which are built on Java, SDK version 7.0. You better upgrade to either 7.5 or 8.0 or downgrade back to 6.5. If you stay where it is at Java, at that time I emphasize 7.0, it's very easy for your computer with that software to be detected by hacking software. They're looking for holes in different computers. And if they look up your computer with that host, which is a vulnerable service, it's called vulnerability, that is, as a whole, they're planting different seeds of destructions on the computers. And all together, they could become the intellect vulnerabilities because they're positioning different seeds there to get ready for an attack. Sometimes hackers are good enough to use your computer as the computer trigger for web attack without your understanding. So it's very sensitive that you have to protect your computer. It's very sensitive when you go online surfing on the internet, you install sufficient protection software to detect if there is any software like this, normally we call this spyware, malware, that could be, without your understanding, installed in your computer. So today, I would like to start out with a very simple 1.5 minutes introductions of exactly what I have introduced to you. So pick it up, learn from this very short message, okay?
The recent problems surrounding Java 7 really doesn't pertain to us. The security issues with Java 7 are essentially contained within the utilization of the browser and the World Wide Web. Since the beginning when we created our internet-based application back in 1999, from an engineering standpoint, we stay away from the browser. In fact, that's how we distinguish ourselves from everyone else. Most people create their applications within the browser, and that's the new popular model of providing cloud-based applications. Whereas our idea was to create a private, use the internet, but use a private tunnel to connect to our data center, not the World Wide Web, not the browser. And for the exact reason that the browser and World Wide Web are accessible anywhere and everywhere to anyone. And that's why it's popular with hackers. And most of these attacks actually happen through a browser. Why? Because it's quite accessible. Whereas with our technology, you don't have to constantly deal with all these vulnerabilities that pop up from time to time.
So you just heard the CEO of this company, Microsoft, to tell you some of the observable intellect vulnerabilities and examples of web attacks. So what did he do? He wanted to develop a business which could have customers to rely on their solutions to gain access to the sensitive data, but they are quite aware of the vulnerabilities of the intellect. So what did they do? What did they do? Okay, let me give you a solution. If you are inside campus, the University of Macau, you can go to use the library resources from any computer inside campus without an extra login in order to gain access to some of the journals, paper, databases from the library. But if you are outside the campus, suppose you are at home, and you want to get back to the University of Macau library system, what do you do? Have you ever tried it? To gain access to library resources, electronic resources from your home, which is outside the university. For example, if you're doing any course and your professor would like you to look up an electronic resource in the library, if you go to the library and use the computer in the library, or if you go to any computer room on this campus, you can gain access to those resources without extra login. But now you're not inside campus, you're at home, which is outside campus. Can you still get back to the library, electronic resources, and use them? Have you ever done something like this before? Gain access to library resources from your home, which is away from the campus? No? Well, okay, that's good. And you haven't done it before. at the school, at the University of Macau, we do have a method to do it. And the method is called VPN, a Virtual Private Network. If you have an account in the VPN, which you can definitely apply for one from ICTO, you can go online at home because you're supposed to internet access at home. You can get access to the ICTO homepage, and in the ICTO homepage there is a VPN login. And you log in the VPN, over there they have the VPN-based library browser access. And through that, you are actually using a private channel to go into the University of Macau area, which is virtual, because actually you're physically outside of the University of Macau campus. But if you go into the virtual private network of the University of Macau anywhere in the world, you are counted as inside campus. And so you can go to the library page and use the library resources just as if you were at the library physically. Okay? So that is called a VPN network. Using several VPN network solutions, and this CEO mentioned that company used private network. Not anyone from the intellect web browsers can get access to. Only authorized persons could be allowed to use that network, and we deem that is a shield. Okay? So it's a shield, that means everything inside is going to be safe. Well, unless someone intrude into it or without. Okay, but that the likelihood is very small. That's advocated by this particular president of the company. So I've just given you examples of web attacks, and then an examples of internet vulnerability, and one company solution to suggest a method for you to solve it, just as you're using the library resources outside the campus. Okay, now let's try to see something more, which is back to the basic. Okay, let's go back to the basic. Let's try to ask this question. What is the difference, or what are the differences between the intellect and the World Wide Web? Well, basically it's not that difficult to understand. Okay, now think about this and watch the differences between the intellect and the World Wide Web. Since we're talking about web attacks and intellect vulnerability, okay? So it's good for you to look back to what is meant by that. It's very important that you keep that in mind.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Bruce Tech here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the internet and the World Wide Web. Now, when talking about the internet and the World Wide Web, people think they're the exact same thing. However, they are not, as the internet is composed of different types of networks. For example, the first of which is LAN, which is short for Local Area Network. And what this basically, where you may basically find this is in your home, in colleges, schools, and small businesses. And then the next stage will be something called WAN, and this is called Wide Area Network, and you find this between two different sites. So say you may have a school on one site and a school on another site, they will be able to use the same network from different locations, and that is called Wide Area Network. And it works the same with homes or businesses as well. And then something that the government have newly established, which is called MAN, which is Metropolitan Area Network, and this is between different, organizations, so different groups of schools, businesses, and homes, all connected to one network. So that's the new, part of the internet, as it's now called, mass society. So when talking about the World Wide Web, you're talking about different websites in terms altogether in what's called the World Wide Web, as it says in the name. It's the whole mass of information that is found on the World Wide Web. So when someone tells you I'm going on the internet, what they really mean is that they're going on the World Wide Web basically to see different websites, which is through internet connection, internet network, you get the World Wide Web as an information data source. So that is the difference between the internet and the World Wide Web. So now you know that the internet is not actually as the internet. It's composed of certain networks, which is LAN, MAN, which is the massive one, and WAN, which is the one between the two, between LAN and MAN. So, and then you've got the World Wide Web, which is, what you view on, where you choose from, the World Wide Web. But to get to the World Wide Web, you require internet, which is what cross-links all the networks together. So I hope that's cleared things up for you between the difference between internet and World Wide Web. So thank you for watching. This has been Bruce Tech here. We're subscribe and I present there. Bye for now.
Okay. Do you hear this gentleman who's trying to help you to understand his perceptions of the differences between the intellect and the World Wide Web? And actually, he's a student just like you, okay? He's trying to use 2 minutes time to tell us his understanding of this two big term. Now, try to think of something that you can grab hold of to make it simple for you to distinguish one from the other. So what is an intellect? What's the keyword you want to use to describe an intellect? Connections of networks. Okay? Connections of networks, intellect. But what exactly is meant by a network? A network of what? Network of what? Information. Okay? So one suggestion is information, because it's your position to help us to understand. Any other suggestions? In intellect, it's connections of networks. And network is connection, a network of information. So far, we got to state this much information. Any more? Can you give it some more informations? Can you give us more informations? Intellect. We're talking about intellect, not World Wide Web yet. So intellect. Any idea what an intellect is? A connections of networks, which is a network of information and any suggestions? I should have given you per table some time to think about this, and it's not difficult. And I hate to give you my perceptions and meter because you would not remember that. But can I just give each table 3 minutes time to think about intellect, okay? And then World Wide Web before I come back to you, okay? Yes, you need time. You need time to think about this, okay? Yes. These are very interesting but essential questions. Okay, any suggestions from any table? What is meant by an intellect? We just have the following informations contributed by 3 students. An intellect is referred to connections of networks. Connections of networks. And each network is basically a network of information. Now after that, can you build on top of this? Use your intuitions, okay? You can think about this based on your understanding. What is an intellect? When one suggestion, like many suggest, is a network of information. What is information in the intellect? Okay? Can we touch this information? Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Ivy. What do you think?
And I think internet is we can connect another country or place.
Okay.
When they have some seriously accident, we can immediately to get the information.
Okay.
Yes, and the information is already the many say the information.
Okay. So intellect is Julian? Yes.
Actually, I have no idea, but maybe some keyword like global and
Global,
net,
yes.
a big net that include the global information.
Okay. I think that you have given us some clues. Let's continue. Say, do you have any idea? What is an intellect?
I think that internet is collecting computer to another computer
Yes.
anywhere,
Yes.
and it can send information
Yes.
between two of the.
So connections of computers from different regions of the world. So it's basically a network of computers or networks of computers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So it's global. This network is global. Okay. So do you have any other idea, Michael? Okay. And you want to try? Give us some hints on your perceptions of what is an intellect.
I think internet is system connection.
System connection. Very interesting. Yeah.
Connect all the world.
Okay. Systems connecting all the world. Let's add this to connections. Systems of connections of all the world, and also which is connections of computers all the world, okay, which is about information. All right, thank you. Let's try to build them together. Okay, do you have any other ideas to add, Antonio? We have more and more ideas coming up now.
We can just a way of the exchange the information between computers.
Okay, so your point is a method of information exchange among or between computers. Okay, very good. This is another way to look at it. Do you have any other idea, Stupsy? Okay, so we have another pictures coming up now.
I think it's about communication.
Oh, very good.
I
Communication.
think in our daily life we should
Yeah.
really to communicate with some information in the internet. So I think that the relationship between communication and internet is
Strong.
yeah
Or it's definitely.
it's dependent.
It's interdependent.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So it's very interesting. Now here in this table, we hear something which is methods of information exchange, communications and informations interdependent. So Nora, do you have anything to add based on your perceptions? Okay. What can you capture? It's okay. It's okay. You don't have any. It's all right. So let's move to this table. So Jihin, do you have anything to add?
I think
Yes, it's okay. Just talk.
I think the internet is like a big market
Big
Yeah.
market, yes.
Yeah, the people can in this market to share what they have and buy and find some what they want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's an interesting analogy. So, a big market in which everybody can find what they want to buy, to share, and of course to sell something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any other idea to put things together now? We have a lot of ideas now. Yes.
Internet is an interconnection of computer networks
Okay, very good connecting things together now.
that use for communication and exchange of information globally.
Okay,
And that we can see from the type of
yes,
the internet connection.
yes.
That's, the first one is local area networks
Okay,
and
wide area
wide
network.
area networks and
Metropolitan
metropolitan
area.
area.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Now, Thomas, right? Thomas is putting all the pieces together. It's an interconnections of computers. It's for the purpose of communications and exchange of information. And it's physically residing on different types of network, such as local area network, wide area network, and metropolitan area network, of course, network across countries, true, right? Intercontinental networks. So, Peter, do you have anything to add? You did contribute very well. Remember, today you did something.
Internet should be a way for the information exchange between a computer and a computer, or computer and a host. And I think that is a big part of the internet.
Right.
Is a way for exchange.
Between, he's making it very interesting. Now, Peter's way is, it's a way of information exchange between computers. Antonio's emphasis is a method of information exchange, but you did not specify definitely between computers, right? It could be between humans, right? So that was very interesting. I think you have already done a very good job. We are getting fragments of the pictures there talking together, and when we come to this table, you got a pretty good picture. Now let's move on to think about World Wide Web, okay? How would World Wide Web or web different from the internet? Or how does World Wide Web depend on the internet? Based on your usage experience, okay? I forgot to ask you too. Actually, you must have something to share. So in a minute, okay? 3 minutes, World Wide Web. What is www? We start from where we are, okay? How do you come to know World Wide Web first? When did you use it? How? In what way? And if there is no intellect, could we still enjoy the World Wide Web? You need to ask yourself this very simple questions again. What is World Wide Web? Is it a tool? Is it a resource? Or is it whatever you can? Stage? Oh, it's a very interesting thing to think about stage, right? It's a stage where you can perform something. Okay, you have something staged, right? So it's very interesting. We need to try to put things together so we can discover more. We start from where we are. Okay. what is a World Wide Web? What is a World Wide Web? Okay? Web. So how do we come to know a web? Okay, maybe we start from the ladies. I give the ladies a chance to talk first. World Wide Web, okay? What do you think?
It's the collection of internet resources.
Collections of internet resources, yes.
Videos,
Video,
audio,
audios,
text, or pictures.
pictures. Okay, very good. It's a collections of internet resources. So what do you think?
Maybe it is a kind of system.
It's a
or
kind of system.
A kind of connection, so that we can get some information, get data through the links quickly.
Okay. You mentioned about the links. Okay, that's very interesting. Actually, we need to talk about links in the World Wide Web. What about you, Amelia? Are you ready to share? Or you can just pass it on, it's okay.
Yes, I think it is a system of internet service.
Internet services, oh
Yes.
good, good.
Not all the internet service are part of the World Wide Web.
Okay, yes, that's true. So we have resource, keyword, services, another keyword, collections of resources, collections of services. So maybe we come to this table. This time, Michael, can you share with us some of your feedback?
It's a theme of internet service that supports visual information and components.
Okay, it's a theme of virtual services that help us to find some related information. Okay, you have anything to share?
I think www is a system of the internet.
Systems of the internet, okay?
And it can be supporting documents like
Okay.
graphics, videos.
Graphics, video, etc. Okay, that means you need on the resource side of the internet. Okay, so Maggie, do you have anything to add? Okay, Julia, I think it's all right.
We think World Wide Web is the website.
The website,
And when
okay.
we use some computer upload some document,
Okay,
and we want to use another computer search to find this document, we
Right.
need this website to search. And
Okay.
when we use the website, we need the internet to help us to enter the website to search. So
Okay.
this is different.
okay. So it's a very good word. You use the word website to carry those resources or to stage those services. And actually, you also mentioned these websites are installed on the internet. It means those computers, right? So that when there is a need to search something, the websites help. Okay. Julia, do you have anything to add?
On these days, internet maybe is when we use the website, the World Wide Web, then to search some resources, and the internet will be the connection of computers around the world.
Yes.
It's a system, and maybe the World Wide Web is a tool, and internet is a system. to help
Okay.
us.
Can we say that the internet is the infrastructure? The World Wide Web is the layer of services on top of the infrastructure. Okay, so one is the software, one is the hardware. Can we say something like this?
Software.
The internet is actually the hardware, the collections of computer and the connections, right? And the web is basically the software installed on top of this hardware. Okay, and through those individual computers, right? Mandy, do you want to say something? I I like the idea of connecting the two, because Julia wants to connect how the web is connected to the internet in a sense. Yes, it's very important. No? Okay, thank you, Benny. So what about Antonio? So what do you think?
I think web is use the internet to the connect with another server or computer, and he like the standard of the locate the computer and server.
Okay.
So I think it's web inside the internet, it's not the internet inside the web.
Yes, that's very interesting. What Antonio will help us to understand is there's certainly some kind of addresses inside internet which could be carried by each website. So basically each website has what we call the web address, which is the www. something, right? Which is the domain name, we call this. But behind this is actually an internet address. Okay? So the internet address is represented by numbers, a bunch of .1, 111, .1211, or something like this. And there is a standard, which number represents which country, and which number within that country represents where that segment is. So, and that's exactly how we know where the computers are located. So actually, I think you're quite right in the sense that it is the web which is deployed over the internet, not the internet deployed over the web. But without the web, which is absolutely an abstraction of the physical devices, so that's why we are so convenient. Wherever we are today, we still can get access to that site with an address, although we may not know physically where that computer is. Who cares? As long as I get to that, right? So that was a very interesting thing. Hey, Noran, do you have something to share?
I think the www is a place to store the information and exchange the information through the internet.
Okay, that's good. And this is exactly what you mean by a server. A server helps us to store a lot of information. And whenever there is a request for that information, we send the information out, which is an act of exchange. The server must have an address, because without it, we cannot know where to go to find the information, right?
The Great Wall can extend
The Great Wall, that means inside China. I think that the idea is very simple. They know all the possible address within China. Okay, so they want to establish a shield on those computers with those addresses, so that anyone who would like to exchange information with the computer inside this area without explicit permission are not allowed. It's just like, I think it's cage inside a big environment. Okay.
and just put some CNN or Facebook on the website, on the IE, we can link you to another page and say that is Facebook. That is CNN.
Oh, of course. Because from the inside, you can always get out, in a sense, for those outlets, right? But a lot of things, just like inside China, you may not be able to use Facebook because they block this path. Whenever you want to get access to that server, which is for Facebook, they block it. Or even YouTube, they block it too. So that
they lie. The computer can lie. This website is Facebook, but just the normal newspaper website. Such as
I do not know at this point, but inside China, when we say it's a Great Wall concept, they have the capability to shield everything off. And they put in a lot of resources to do that. And I think technically speaking, they can do it. And besides technically, they have a lot of people around those great, better say, server sites to monitor it. Yeah. So it's two sides of the questions. Stop saying. No, okay. So let's come back to this table. So what do you think of the World Wide Web?
Okay, just like I said before,
Yes.
the internet is a market, it's big market.
Okay.
So World Wide Web just a shop, a counter, to share the information
Okay.
and find out information, provide information
Okay.
to us, and the website and address just like the locations of
Yes.
each shop.
Okay, yes, I think it's a very interesting example. Yes, the website is just a location of a specific song inside. Yeah. Thomas?
www is a system that consists various websites together, or it can be said that it is a home for all the websites.
All right.
Or it also can be mean the integration of various websites that contains various types of soft resources or information.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So Peter, by the way, you want to say something?
I think the foundations of mobile web should be based on two things. One is the hardware, which means what is seen here, a computer, or hard
Okay.
drive,
Yeah.
or enormous servers.
Yes.
Those are hardware. Without that, the mobile web should not exist in the world.
Okay.
Because as we all know that mobile web is a bunch of groups and combinations of numbers. And the second thing, which is almost the most important foundations of the mobile web, should be the internet, I think. Because in my opinion, the mobile web should be formed by the millions and millions of the internet websites.
Yeah.
Websites. So I think the mobile web should be based on these two things. Without these two things, the mobile web should not exist.
You know, I particularly like the idea Manny mentioned about the stage concept, S-T-A-G-E. It's a World Wide Web is like a big stage, which is established on top of the internet, the connections of computer. And with that stage, individual computer or we have websites there, we can put it to the stage, become one specific site, which has information exchange with others. So if you would like me to conclude based on this basic, very meaningful discussion, I still would like to say, yes, intellect is interconnections of computers, which contain different types of network, mainly on the physical device side. But the World Wide Web is a layer on top of these infrastructure. It's just like a stage built on top of some foundations, so that without that stage, informations could not have been linked to others so easily. And now the stage has become an interactive stage. We can not only read information, we can produce information and put it over there very easily. And that is where we are in Web 2.0. Okay? In the past, you may not write a blog and publish it that easily. But now everybody can write a blog, publish it, put it on stage. Everybody can read it. Okay? So that's very interesting. Now, let me show you something that is very sensitive. And watch it first and see if you became a victim there too. But I guess in Macau and Hong Kong, not as likely. Okay, we are talking about web attacks and indirect vulnerability. Now watch.
The threat of a cyber attack, the Department of Homeland Security says they've seen 50,000 recent incursions or attempts. That's just on government computers. So what about your home computer or your laptop? As we put cybersecurity in focus this morning, our Tech Rollins takes a look at how easy it is for someone to hack right into your laptop.
Inside Terminal 5 at the Los Angeles International Airport, dozens of people are on their computers. Gregory Evans is a former hacker whose resume includes 2 years in federal prison.
We were doing almost $1 million, if not more, a week against some of the biggest corporations in the world.
We set up in a corner of the terminal so that Evans, who now owns a cybersecurity company, could show us just how vulnerable people are to hackers.
I will go and set up a fake Wi-Fi and watch everybody connect to it. And once they connect to it and they start surfing the internet, now what I'll do is just grab all their traffic.
We launched a fake network named LAX Free Wi-Fi. Within minutes, people started connecting to it. Evans then showed us how a hacker can record everything off a computer that joined our network by tracking what I was doing on my laptop.
So if they go to their bank, it'll grab all their banking information. If they go to their Facebook, it'll grab all that. Their Twitter accounts, if they're writing love letters, I can grab all of that.
Or, as it says even worse, if a hacker has enough time, spyware can be installed, which stays with the victim.
You get on the plane, you go to one country, I go to another. But everything that you do, as long as you have that computer, is going to be emailed back to me.
During our experiment, we stumbled across what appeared to be a real hacker at work. Along with our fake network, there was another one called Free Public Wi-Fi. Airport administrators told us T-Mobile is the only authorized Wi-Fi provider.
So you think that there could be a hacker here right now?
That's correct.
Catching and prosecuting a hacker, especially at an airport, is extremely difficult. E.J. Hilbert is a retired FBI agent who specialized in cybercrime.
It's virtually impossible to catch him. Law enforcement's aware of this, and there's always the next piece. You steal the card, you steal the information, you gotta use them somewhere. And that's when you start getting the real investigation going.
Experts say there are a few things you can do to protect yourself. If you're at an airport or a public spot, find out who the Wi-Fi provider is and use that. If it costs some money, pay the money. They also say change your password every now and then and use different passwords for different accounts. Another tip, turn your computer off when you're not using it. And if you do go online using the public Wi-Fi, keep in mind that someone may be watching you.
You don't know if you're getting on a true Wi-Fi or you're connecting to some hacker's network. Like, you don't know if you're connecting to me or if you're really connecting to the airport.
Ted Williams, CNN, Los Angeles.
Wow. Do you have that experience? Bringing your laptop or even your mobile devices to the airport or air terminal or any free Wi-Fi spot, and you believe you're enjoying free Wi-Fi? But you did not pay attention to which free Wi-Fi is to recognize a verified one. You might be using a hacker's free Wi-Fi, submitting all your data to the hacker's network, and they grab everything you did. And you go to the bank and get your bank password. If you go to Facebook, you get your Facebook account, and then they might get into your friends and stealing all those data together. Isn't it interesting? Web attack, intellect vulnerability. So today's lesson is right here. I want you to put some more thought into this so that when Friday when we come back, you will have another piece of very interesting discussion. Now, we are not going now, but I want to bring you back to the teacher's message this week. Okay? Actually, a lot of things you need to learn in this week. I've just given you this, and another one is how to break a web software. It's very interesting, okay? But now let's get back to the teacher's message. Now, I want you to read this very carefully because this teacher's message was released yesterday, okay? Not yesterday, on Sunday. So this is about your second learning contract. Now count the number of items and tell me what's the difference between this one and the first learning contract. I give you 1 minute's time to look at it. Okay? Everybody look at this. 1 minute. What's the difference between this list and learning contract number 1? Okay? So count the number of items. What do you need to do extra, which is not needed in learning contract number 1? Can you see that? Can you see that? Which one you did not see that in learning contract number 1? Which number? Count from the very beginning. Which one? Okay? First one is journal. The second one is peer discussion forum. Detail. The third one is wikis, right? So wiki is the one that is not there in the first learning contract. The now is added because you need to work together as a pair, and towards the end of this month, you need to find another pair to form a team. Okay? So you need to learn how to do wiki in the UM Moodle environment. So what is a wiki, first of all? A wiki is just like a web page. Okay? You write on a wiki just like you type on the journals, you write on your discussion forum. But on the wiki, not just you can write on that page, your member, the pair member, will also write there. And particularly, you are now on a 2-person pair or 3-person pair. So if you are on a 3-person pair, all 3 in your pair can actually write on the same page. Okay? Now, how do you write on the wiki? So I have to show you at this point because you need to learn. So here we go. Let's go back to the website. If you go to week number 5, you can see under week number 5 tools, there is something called Pair Online Collaborations Wiki. The same on week number 6, Pair Online Collaborations Wiki. Okay? So if you click on this, you will be brought to this page. Okay? On a page like this, for me as a teacher, I could get access to all your wiki. But in this case, we would like to pay attention to the 7 pairs we have in this class. Let's say I'm getting into pair 01, okay? So I click pair 01. So I'm on pair 01. The first thing you need to do when you are on the wiki is the system asks you, do you want to create a page? Okay? So you have a button down there called create a page. Now make sure when you create a page, you select HTML format. HTML format. Forget about the other 2, okay? Because it's Moodle 2.5, they have more choices for different users who are experienced in doing different kind of format. But for you, check the first one. Always remember to check the first one. And base security, it is by default the first one, okay? So if you belong to pair 01, say in pair 01, we have 2 students, okay? So any one of these 2 students could come to this page and say, I create a page, which is under learning contract 002. So after I create a page, I will be brought to an editor, which is just like your journal editor, just like your forum discussions editor. So this is the front page of the wiki. This is the front page of your house, okay? So let's say, I just type front page for pair 01. And then when I save it, you can see that front page for pair 01 appears right here. This is called the front page. Now the power of a wiki is not just on the front page. The front page is the beginning page, just like the door. When you open this door, you can get into your house. Okay? So for example, in your house, you have 3 rooms. I'm going to add 3 rooms here. I have 1 kitchen. I have 2 bathrooms. Okay, and then what do I have? I have a dining room, I have a living room, so this is what I have in my house, okay? So you save them. So now in your page, you have room 01, room 02, room 03. Now you want to show people what you have in your kitchen. You want to show people what you have in your living room. So you open the door for them. And to open the door for them, we say we create a separate page for those specific rooms. How do you do that? You go back to edit. Remember, when you create something, you go back to edit. So when you go back to edit, you come back to this particular editor. The way to do it is very simple. I create a magic double square in room 001. I create a double square in kitchen. I create a double square bracket in living room. Now similarly, for the other rooms, okay, you are creating an extra page for those items. So what you need now is to save them. Once you save them, you discover that for those rooms, you have already created an extra page for them. They appear red in color, italics. That means you're ready to put things into your room 001, to put things into your kitchen, to put things into your living room. Okay? How do you put it? Very simple. If you want to put something into it, when you see red in color, what you need to do is just to click on it. When you click on it, it becomes underlined, and when you click on it, you are brought to the creation page again. And notice the name of this page, room 001. Okay? And so when you create this page, room 001 becomes empowered to carry something. So when I say room 001 is Peter's room, alright, so I type this is Peter's room, and then I save. So right now I have entered Peter's room, but how can I go back? I need to go back to the house front door. So then you come to map. When you click map, you see that I have learning contract 002, room 001. Okay? So I copy learning contract 002, which is the front door, and I go back to edit Peter's room. So I put here time, Control V. I copy and paste the front door's address here, and I save. And now I'm in Peter's room. I want to go back to learning contract 2. I click on this. I was brought back here. And then you see Peter's room appear in blue now because this room has something in it. But what about the kitchen? Okay, I want to put in there a refrigerator. Okay, so I create this page. Now I type refrigerator. And then I say go home. Again, it's learning contract 002. And then I save. So refrigerator is now put in the kitchen. I can go back to learning contract 2. So you see kitchen appear in blue now. So the trick here is you must learn the technique of putting the name inside 2 sets of square brackets and save it. And then you will create a link which is in red. And when you have the red links there, when you click on it, you can start putting things in. Now what does it mean? It's a system, which is a linked hierarchical system of pages. You can use it to carry as many things as you want. For example, in the first learning contract, you may create 6 different items. 1 item per name, right? Or 1 name per item. And then you can get into the items room. You can see your journals there. You can see your discussions details there. You can see your report there. And you can see your blog there. 15 minutes proposal. Okay? That is what you need to do in learning contract number 2. After you've done your journal, I want you to move your journal here for your members to look at. After you finish discussions in your forum, I want you to move the specific discussion detail here for you to use to write a report. Okay? And I want you to do your report here collaboratively by creating different links. When you go back to the guidelines of the report, you see the different links. And you can copy the same structure here. Okay? So that is the wikis. You need to learn how to use the wiki. Alright, after you've learned how to use the wiki, let's go back to the message. If you look at these particular 7 items, 6 of them are very similar to the first learning contract. Out of 3 weeks journal, each one of you need to submit 1. But remember what I said, in that particular week's journal, actually the 2 of you in your pair will share the topics. Remember that. In the first learning contract, you are the only person responsible for doing all the topics there. But in this learning contract, you can bring in your learning partner, share the number of topics. And when you submit that week's journal, besides submitting your work, you can also grab your partner's work and submit it together. And the same for your partner. Okay? So normally that means the 2 of you should receive the same grade for the journal, because you're actually submitting the same thing. Alright? The second thing is, you have to do discussions of the topic. But, look. In the first learning contract, no matter how many topics in all the 3 weeks, you just have to do the discussion for 1 topic, remember? Do you remember that? In the first learning contract, no matter how many topics in the 3 or 4 weeks, you just need to select 1. Actually, there are 9 topics or 9 questions in the 3 to 4 weeks in the first learning journal, if I remember correctly. And you just need to select 1. But here in the second learning contract, a little bit different. Now, remember that. When you look at the requirements here, you are actually obliged to do the discussions for 3 topics instead of 1 in this learning contract. And you have to select 1 topic from each week. 1 topic from week 5, 1 topic from week 6, and 1 topic from week 7. Okay? So in each pair, you need to take this free topic and ask the learning partner to help you finish discussing it. And your learning partner will have 3 topics, and he will ask you to help him to finish it. Discussions. So that means in terms of discussions, the second learning contract is more than in the first learning contract. And understand that. But that is independent from which journal you select for your submissions. But when you look at the discussions requirement, actually, you have to plan to do at least 1 topic more in each other week, right? So if you want to say, let's submit week number 5, so let's share week number 5's topic and we get the journal done. But when you come to do the discussion details, you need to select 1 topic from week 5, this is fine, you did it already. But you have to select 1 from week 6 and 1 from week 7. And your learning partner needs to select 1 from week 6 and 1 from week 7. And your topic and your learning partner's topic must not be the same. Okay? In terms of discussions, alright? That is a little bit more. But in terms of writing a report, again, this time, no, even though you have discussed 3 topics on each one of you in your pair, in terms of writing your report, you just need to select 1 out of 3. Okay? 1 out of the 3. Just like in your first learning contract. When you write a report, you just need to use 1 topic to write a report. And if you use 1 topic to write a report, and your partner use one topic to write a report, again, it's 2 topics to report. Just like in the first learning contract. Okay? So in terms of writing report, again, 2 topics. But if your pair has 3 persons, that means 3 topics, 1 from each party. Okay, now, when you come to write the blog, just the same. You should write a blog based on topic you used to write a report. Okay? Again, no difference from the first learning contract. And then you also need to do a proposal. This time is not individually, but from each pair. So if your pair has 2 persons, the 2 persons share the same proposal. If your pair has 3 persons, the 3 of you in your pair share the same proposal. Okay? But in terms of meeting minutes, in the first learning contract, only 1 meeting minute is good enough. But here, 3. 1 for each week. You should have a meeting minute for last week, and you should finish the meeting minute for this week, and then you should finish the meeting minute for next week. And the second learning contract is due on March the 29th. Okay? You can count it March the 29th plus 5 days, just like in this learning contract. Plus 5 days. So it's almost April the 4th. Okay? So what is the meaning of this learning contract? Is it complicated? No. But it's designed to enable you to understand the meaning of SRL, self-regulated learning. Remember, when you look back to last week's message, it talks about 4 areas of task management in self-regulated learning. These second learning contracts design ask of you to try to have that experience. So we say, make sure you read exercise power of choice. Now remember, I know a lot of you like to do this. I have received some question in the first learning contract. Sir, can I say, I submit journal 1 for week 1, but when I do a discussion, I select a topic from week 2. And then when I do a report, I select a topic from week 3. I say it's fine, it's up to you, but you need to, it's better for you to select a topic you can carry through. That means you do not need to repeatedly reinvent your effort. So, and then at that time I told the students that in the second learning contract you will have a chance to do something like this, but not to the extent you expect. This is exactly the case because you still can select the journal only 1 week, but when you come to do the discussions, beside 1 topic from that week, you have 2 more topics to do, 1 from the other week. And the reason is because we want you to know the topics, which is actually the way how we want you to know the core curriculum of this course in web technology and life. But the way we do it is not I teach you the same set, but you select what you believe is important based on the questions. Okay? What is the challenge? You need to know your goals. Okay? How can I accomplish my goals in this learning contract too? Will I be able to master the self-regulation, regulated learning competency, the 4 areas of task management based on this scheme, which you need to set the goals, understand the timeline of your work, and with that, manage the resources between the 2 of you in your pair, or the 3 of you in your pair, so that you can work on an action plan. And work on that action plan for at least 2 times, 1 each week, this week and next week. Okay? And then if there is anything you believe is not working well, change your plan. Now remember, it's not likely, and it's very likely, that you may not be able to finish all the items here. But ask yourself, this pair, based on your first learning contracts experience, what is the number of items you can manage within that period of time? And if I give you 5 more days, starting from March the 29th, can you manage the remaining item within 5 more days? That is the challenge, okay? So, I think you do not need to panic, but The little difference between the first learning contract and this learning contract is we want to establish your ability to manage time, to manage your goals, to manage the human resources in your pair. Okay? And towards the very end, you need to come together to form a team between another pair. Okay? So in the process of doing that, I highly recommend you not to copy across the pair, but to collaborate across the pair. What does it mean? Not to copy across the pair, but to collaborate across the pair. Getting ready for your team pair partners. What does it mean? Look at the workload. In this learning contract, you have to do 2 more discussion topics from the first one. That is the only difference, okay? That's the only difference. And how do you manage the 2 more topics with your team potential pair? That is what I would like to see happen in your team dynamics here. I want to see your meeting minutes, how you manage that. Now, if you have not been doing well in your peer work, worry not. Starting from this Friday, besides inviting you to do student sharing in class, I will actually give you 30 minutes time to see how you work within your pair and across your pair. Okay? So if you could bring in some devices like iPad or notepad or notebook, or even borrow some from others, and try to use a 30 minutes time class and see how much better you can accomplish the work here. Okay? So do you understand the differences? No? Okay. So let me give you at least 5 minutes to discuss among yourself. What's the difference between the first learning contract and the second learning contract? And what are the power of choice given to it to maneuver our way through? Okay? All right, so let's talk about it first. The only way to learn it is to get through it, okay? Okay. You don't need to worry that much. You can ask questions, of course. Besides discussion, you can raise your hand. Okay? If you don't believe you understand it, okay?
會每一個星期嚟講。其實咧，你應該咁講，當你進行 discussion 嘅時，你應該做到個 second line 嘅。咁其實即係話，即係要做多個兩個 topic 嘅章嘅。即係做咗兩樣，因為你每個人要有三個 discussion， 即係三個 question 嘅 discussion。如果一個 question 呢個因為你要做三個，我哋講一個 topic 嘅 question。你今日唔使緊張㗎，唔得，因為嗱，每一個同學要負責做三個 topic。係啦，你要每一個同學咧都有5揀嘅 topic 做 discussion， 每一個揀嘅 topic 做 discussion。咁你係咁揀，你哋都係咁揀。即係你個 topic 嘅太多嘢，咁你揀咗3個人幫手，咁佢有3個人幫手，即係2個。咁如果3個人 team 啲問題，係啊，我想就但係都唔係喎，你留心喎，3個 team 未必抵，因為你每個人都要做3個 topic 嘅 discussion。係啊，咁所以咪你3個一 team，其中一個人咧，要做2個嘅 discussion。但係我哋做 journal 就會係啊，做 journal 係啊，每個 team 都要做10個 journal 㗎嘛。喺最後嗰時總唔係，每個人自己要做10個。每個人係每個唔係一個 team，唔係一個 team。嗱，仲搞掂咗呢個先。嗱，如果你有3個人 ，sorry 啊，如果你有3個人一個 pair 咧，你做 journal 係會抵嘅，因為你 journal 第一個星期6個嘛，之後咧咪做2個啫，係嘛？你除3啊嘛。咁但係你做 discussion 就係啦，因為每個人都負責講 discuss 3個人，你要 discuss， 比如揾人去 discuss 嘛，你有3個你可以揾 A 可以揾 B 啦，係嘛 ？B 可以揾 C 啦 ，C 揾翻 A 㗎嘛，即係你諗，即係點解啲人會做 discussion 多咗？咁但係 OK 嘅，因為呢個係鍛鍊嘅，同埋咧呢個目標係 SR 嘅 self-regulate learning， 即係話當你 run 多咗時，你要點樣有 strategies 咧去 balance 到你想達到個目標同埋做到嘅嘢？要求咩人 set 個 goal 先，睇一睇你個時間 timeline、action plan 係點樣，行第一個星期可能冇得改，跟住咧再有機會一個星期機會俾你試佢出嚟。咁呢個就係即係個 SRL 咯。仲有咧點解我哋去我唔記得睇啊！你好多人冇做 questionnaire 啊！而家我發覺7個人做咗咋，其他有10幾個都未做。你唔好做個 questionnaire 咧，你好難明白呢個意義啊！啲 questionnaire 咧問你就係點用嘅時間啊嘛嚇，我全部要成。少少同意，我想全部交。唔緊要㗎，你同意冇問題嘅。嗰個 questionnaire 啲問題係你要用嘅時間俾你自己知道嘅，係你一就聽你點用嘅時間。我係裝時間嘅啫，我係。咁嗱，坦白講，你要自己誠實啦，因為你要自己誠實，因為第二個呢 contract 咧，其實你嘅 starting point 咧，就根據你第一個呢 contract experience 嚟㗎嘛。做 questionnaire 我亂做㗎咋，得啦，就大家。咁我唔覺得係亂做嘅，只不過你一定要你自己知道，因為呢個係你哋自己嘅誠實嚟嘅，因為你每做一個咧，你嘅經驗咧就係你下一個去改善嗰個好重要嘅基礎嚟㗎嘛。我睇到啲同學就寫3個鐘頭話，你真係舒服嘅。嗰啲 contract 冇可能，有啲同學寫8個至10個呢個差唔多，有啲同學寫16個嗰啲咧就我又 question 緊有啲解，因為冇可能攞咁多時間做。唔係，其實你自己要知㗎，因為點解咧？呢個唔係呢個我哋而家呢個 course 咧，傳統嘅唔同，傳統話俾啲 knowledge 塞咗去考試書，你識唔識係唔緊要，喺考試度幾緊要。但係呢度我俾嘅機會就話呢啲 factor 就係咁樣 ，environment 就係咁。constraint 就係呢個 resource 咁多，你 manage 到呢個 resource 去達到嘅高，呢個先係最重要啊嘛。我哋都冇背書㗎，呢次使唔使講其他？你同你個 partner 合作係最重要，但係咧我同你講過咧就 towards the end 你要揾一個team game 同你合作幾時？呢個 contract 完之後，因為
而家呢 project 3咧就係跳過2個 P 一齊，你更加要懂得呢個 function 點樣再用翻落去。
咦，咁其實呢個可以我哋教嘅。
你講得啱啊！頭先講話咩叫 collaborate across the pair 咧，即係如果你已經開始揾另一個 pair 嘅時候咧，你 across the pair 嘅時候喺 topic 上邊咧，我冇乜嘢嘅絕對嘅禁止啊嘛。咁所以但係咧，我頭先講唔可以抄，但係可以 collaborate， 呢個就係 strategy 啦。我就鼓勵你哋想走呢條路，因為你出嚟做一定要有呢啲咁嘅狀態。Microsoft Facebook 都要買咗 WhatsApp 啦，唔知點解嘅。佢唔係冇能力做 WhatsApp 嘅嘢，人哋做咁成功㗎嘛，成隊 team 攞咗翻嚟同我哋一再標到最簡單。我俾錢佢啫嘛，我有啊嘛，WhatsApp 佢話，咁啊嗰陣時就睇低咗佢哋，而家佢成功咗，買翻佢翻嚟咯。貴咯，唔算咩貴㗎啦，應該話大把錢。應該話 WhatsApp 嗰隊 team 咧叻仔，最堅持嘅。我都想講係咁嘅呢個事。
但其實都唔係真係用錢嘅，都會嚟嘅。有錢有路，
都係㗎，另一種係
數嚟嘅啫嘛，
另一種係資本嚟。
唔係你睇先佢嘅標啦。我睇
佢係有錢有部分錢有係佢唔係全部俾晒錢。
OK 啊，我覺得呢個係一個好
戰略合作關係，
建立合作關係
係戰略合作伙伴。
係啦 ，strategic partnership。即係如果有反有 strategic partnership。Not really that bad.
唔係好似我睇翻喺中國好多人同你簽呢啲咁嘅字。
So I like the term strategic partnership. Okay, very important. So do you know what I'm trying to tell you?
地緣政治小啦。
It's not much difference from any kind of one. Except you have to do 3 topic discussion rather than one. And this 3 kind of one and it's a little bit so you need to learn how to share and develop strategic partnership across the okay? What we need is your children. If I don't so you put in a photo. I start recording video and blog so that any two of you can do rather than share the Microsoft PowerPoint. In the first learning content, we share the Microsoft PowerPoint. This, right? We can't allow 3 of this. Okay, bye-bye. See you on Friday. Okay? Alright? Okay? So that's it for today's CISG 113, Section 1, Information Security and Privacy. Today is date number 10 on March the 18th, 2014. I enjoyed today's class because from my observations, when I mentioned learning contract number 2's involvement, students become stimulated and they love to ask questions. Thank you.